What's good? What's good? What is up? What is up? Praise y'all. Welcome into the channel. Welcome into the gas station. That's what I'm calling this. I was trying to do a series I don't know, about a year back. I had this idea. Since I got gas so often, it'd be a place, I guess, to kind of indulge some of those ideas. Some of those gear wants or like new stuff that pops up versus like finding workarounds to kind of satiate that gas. So I've been feeling some gas lately. There's been some new items that came out. Thought maybe y'all would like to look at them. You probably seen some of these things. Actually, most of them, a couple of them aren't super new. One of them is pretty new. All of them in the thumbnails. All's right there. That's what I want to look at. Actually, there's one that I didn't include in the thumbnail that I thought about last, so I think it's kind of cool. And I'm looking at these pieces of gear as like working in conjunction with the SP-404 Mark II. So that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, because none of these pieces are like centerpieces. The sampler is my main piece, you know? And so when I look at other gear that aren't samplers, I look at how that can work well with the SP or with the MPC mainly. And these pieces that I'm looking at are mainly about sound, like getting sounds in. And the SP is a great sampler for chopping samples. It doesn't offer you too much as far as like original composition, if that's what you're into. So I am looking at these pieces to kind of help in that. I mean, you can do some stuff with the SP on its own. You know, I've got a few packs that you can pick up, like the Vynil one-shot instrument pack. It's only 14 bucks. And then I have the Lifted Noise Stole These Sound sample pack, which has instruments that you can play with chromatic mode. So that one you can pick up for free. I know a lot of y'all have already heard about this, so I may sound redundant, but I think redundancy is important in marketing yourself. And you know, if you're in this independently to kind of promote yourself and get your music out there, or to be able to support yourself in a habit that you love doing. So yeah, so I want to look at these pieces of gear. Hopefully I got enough time to do all this. And then I also have like this kind of SP-404 tutorial for you guys after that I want to show you, that I just kind of had an epiphany about using the SP-404 as a controller. So it can be used as a controller, but specifically using chromatic mode and scale mode in order to control external sounds. So as part of the reason why I'm looking at some of this other gear, I was kind of curious if I can, you know, control some of this other gear with the SP. Now it's kind of limited, but it's kind of cool too. So it is a bit of a workaround, something that you kind of got to hack. So I'll show you how that goes, like what the limitations are. I'll talk about that and then show you how what I came up with so far. And then maybe it'll be useful to you guys. So what is up in the chat? The first piece of gear that I want to look at is the newest piece that released. I'm sure a lot of you might have seen it. And it's the Arturia Astro Lab. So the Astro Lab looks pretty crazy. I don't know if many of y'all would want to see this. I've been polling people on my channel as far as gear that you might want to see on the channel. I didn't poll about this one yet. I should have. But I pulled about 2 other pieces. I kind of want to get at least 100 votes to see if there's some interest. But this looks interesting to me, the Arturia Astrolab, but it is a digital stage keyboard. So I don't know how many of y'all who are on my channel are really interested in a stage keyboard. It could be something, because the SP is a bit of a live performance tool, and so is this thing. But the reason why this thing really intrigues me is just the fact that a few months ago I was talking about, you know, I kind of just discovered that Arturia has these really, from what I hear, dope virtual instruments, and I thought they mainly were into synths. And I'm huge on I just love acoustic instruments, sampled instruments that I can play from a MIDI keyboard, you know, and like sample myself. But this thing has what's called physical modeling, and that to me is something that really intrigues me for some reason. And this is a standalone device of all their soft synths, pretty much, from what I hear. So I've never tried any of the Arturia soft synths. I had like an Arturia, like a mini lab, like back when I was in music production school, and so that was kind of cool. But I never really considered it because I've been away from the soft synth stuff for a long time, from computers, from DAWs and all that. So it hasn't really sparked my interest. But then when I heard, you know, they do the physical modeling stuff and they got acoustic instruments, I was like, yo, that'd be cool to try out, you know. But they didn't have anything that was hardware until now, and so that's why it really intrigues me. I don't think I'll get it because it's kind of a big board, and really I'm dealing with some limited space. So I don't know. I think it would be cool if they dropped like maybe a desktop version or a small version. I mean, this is Arturia. I have in my possession a Mini Freak, and that'd be dope if they could. I doubt they do it, but if you can get some of that, I believe it's Analog Lab that has like the physical modeling and stuff. But I want to watch a video. I haven't looked at it yet, but I just want to react to it. I found one that is where he's going over what the physical modeling is. So I want to look at that. Hopefully the sound is all linked up and good. So let's pull this up. I want to get in the chat though. But if you're out there, say what's up. I'd like to have a little chat. I got a lot of stuff that I want to go over and cover here, so. Well, okay, here we go. Let's stop this music. All right. Let's see if this comes through.
With samples, we are kind of bound to.
Let's see, I rewind it a little bit.
It sounds. Here, as you can see, there's an encoder here with the imagery of whatever sound that you're about to play. Let's try this grand piano.
Can y'all hear this? Well, let me pause it for a second. Tell me y'all can hear this. I'm gonna get in the chat. Ben, you want that Arturia Astrolabe? Yeah, for sure. OSR The Journey. Yes, that's exactly what I said, Ben. If they made a 37 key version, it would be a no-brainer for sure. I wouldn't hesitate. I would have took advantage of the opportunity, grab one up, but y'all can hear this sound, right? Let me know if you can hear this sound. Okay, perfect. Listen to that. And from my understanding, this is not samples at all, okay? This is completely physical modeling, synthesis.
Astrolab uses the power we find in Analog Lab, and that includes physical modeling. With samples, we are kind of bound to the capture of the samples, if you will. But with physical modeling, what we're doing is using those zeros and ones in a digital way to capture how these sounds move airwaves, if you will, and the mechanics of the instrument. Every single phenomenon that could be described about an instrument can be modeled in the computer. Crazy. And then it could be altered and programmed to your preference. That's the way of the future. So, for example, physical modeling as it pertains to a piano here. Here I have macros that are labeled brightness, timbre, time, movement. As you can see below those names, there's a lighter gray nomenclature of volume, bass, mid, and treble. And because when you hit shift, turn the knob, you get the secondary function of these macros. So essentially you have 8 fingertips instantly. Not only that, for those of you who are in depth, as we'll talk about later, you'll be able to assign these macros to any parameter that you want, which makes this a mega powerful feature of Astrolab. So check this out. All right, so I'm going to change the timbre here, and you'll see that it will age the piano to be a replica of something maybe 30 or 40 years older in real time.
Yeah, the freezing must be the stream. I see some things
Now
going
let's
on
see
with
what
it.
the movement does.
Should fix itself though.
Let's see what the brightness does. So you can see that Arturia has designated the strength of the hammer strike on this brightness knob macro here. So definitely a cool feature when it comes.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. The layout is simple. And then I believe there's like an app that can, like, you can connect it to a computer, right? So that's cool, like that you have the options. I believe there's also an app that you can use in order to get a little bit deeper into the editing. I don't really care so much about that when it comes to, like, this looks like enough for like the acoustic sounds. Like, that's cool that what he was saying, like you could change it to make it sound like a piano that's 40 years old. So that's dope. Let me see. Let's play back a little bit of this. I don't see any sound coming through. Hold on a sec. No sound. Well, I'll pull up this up one more time. Just kind of look through it. So, I mean, it is a stage keyboard, so it has its target audience. It might not be for a lot of people on this channel. Maybe for some. From my understanding, all you can really do is play one sound at a time. You can't really MIDI it up. It does have this cool little function like this MIDI looper. So you could technically, I think, in theory, loop something with one instrument and then play over it. So it kind of a way of giving yourself a backing track. So the looper sounds cool and would have some uses. I mean, we got, as far as pairing with the SP, I mean, the timing, we got a looper now on this, but doesn't mean something like that wouldn't be useful to come up with some ideas on the keyboard itself and then sample into the SP. But yeah, I mean, you might be a player and you do live shows, and the SP is known to be a live thing, so it could be for you in some ways. Me, I would just sample some of these great sounds, these physical modeling sounds, into the SP. But yeah, like Ben was saying, my same thought. Like, it would be dope if they had a 37 key version or even just a desktop version. I've been actually just looking at stuff that I can sample into the SP, not necessarily with the keyboard. I've really been getting into like playing melodies and stuff and chords with the pads on the MPC itself and on the SP. And I've kind of developed that from working with the SP and then moved it over to the MPC rather than just using the chord modes, because I think some of the chord modes that exist in these hardware units are kind of limited. Like Arturia itself is created like in the key step where you have like the strumming effect, but you can't really do a strumming effect in the MPC like in real time. So that's a limitation. That's why I kind of prefer now to use scale mode and do my own strumming where I'm, not exactly pressing all the keys at the same time. So I'll kind of do some of that today once I get to the tutorial section of this. If I get to that, hopefully my phone doesn't die or overheat by then. So let me try to move along. So the next piece that I am interested in checking out has been around for a while. And one thing that Let me see if it's here. It's been around for a while, but they've turned it into a desktop module version. So I think this would be cool to actually pair with like the MPC Key 37 as well. But the Korg Wave State, I think at NAMM they announced this. Korg announced this. Korg put out a lot of stuff this year. But this is the version, a desktop version without the keys. And I think it's actually kind of doper. They've added, so kind of like a workstation keyboard. I don't know if you could see it, but underneath these buttons, which I think they're kind of like motion buttons. I don't know exactly. They add motion to the synthesis and stuff. And I think this is cool. Like, I'm not super into synth, but I've wanted one of these for a while to kind of get into it and make some sounds, because it makes some really cool cinematic, spacey type of sounds. But also it gives you acoustic samples, and you could do up to 4 layers right here, but you could bring it down to 1. And then down here you have the categories. Zoom in. See, so you got the layers up there, but you could do 1 layer if you wanted and just use this as a rompler. And then you have the categories down here at the bottom, just like you would have on a workstation. I don't believe this exists on the keyboard versions. They've added it to here. Maybe they've added that in a firmware function, or maybe it's like a hidden function on the keyboards. But I think this is dope because you have all the acoustic stuff. And then I was looking into it. I went to like the Korg website, and it actually says that this has sounds from like the Kronos and the Nautilus and some other newer sounds. So like the Nautilus is like I think their top of the line, like flagship bread and butter workstation. So potentially this has some really nice sounds in it. And this is it goes for the exact same price as the keyboard, $699. Sounds doesn't quite have them in right now. You could pre-order them. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely curious about. And look, it comes with like these ears, so you can rack it up and put it at an angle. So that's very convenient, especially if you already have the keyboard, or if you're going in with the MPC, like Key 37, sequencing this would be nice, would be a nice addition. I don't know if I'll pull up any videos. I think the videos on this are kind of limited as of right now. So what do you guys think? And then I did another poll on this other piece. I don't think I've gained enough interest as far as you guys go to see it on the channel. It's a piece that can be used as a standalone, groove box as well. And that is the Yamaha is it Seek Track? I believe it's the Yamaha Seek Track. So this is the Yamaha Seek Track, right? $399. It's not bad, not a bad price for a groove box. Actually, I mean, it's almost the price of an SP-404, which is like $499, right? So, I mean, if you have an SP, you don't necessarily need another sequencer, another groove box. But what's cool about this, and might even for the price make it worth what it is just the fact that it is a sound module. So, and it has a built-in battery, so it's rechargeable. And then it has a built-in sound module, which is like a library of sounds that Yamaha, probably from like their motif stuff. So you get motif sounds for like $399. I don't know why I scrolled down all the way over here. Okay, so I don't know if I'll find the information on the sounds here. It says over 2,000 presets. And it's kind of limited what you could do on it itself, but there is an app that you can connect to through Bluetooth on this thing, and then you can get deeper into it, so you can like navigate the different categories of sounds if you're just going to use it for that purpose. Hold on, I got a baby emergency, y'all.
She had Ellie on his back.
All right. Sorry for jumping away. My daughter, my youngest 2-year-old, just made a mess. She had a bowel movement and it got all over the place. Now she's in a bath. Luckily, I got some helpers around here. So, yeah, so I was looking at the Yamaha SecTrack Mobile Music Idea Station. That's what they're calling it. Mobile Music Idea Station. It's got some cool features, man, like that you don't see. Like, you know, just the fact that you have a lithium battery on something this cheap and this small. Well, I guess that exists in like some of the other, like the Novation, what is it? The Novation circuit tracks or circuit rhythm and the circuit tracks. I had the rhythm for a while. That's cool. Pretty limited. Like this, you can't dive too deep into it, but it has a mobile app that connects through Bluetooth, which is cool because then you can actually power a USB bus powered keyboard controller to control this. So that is freed up when you have the Bluetooth extension of the app, and you can dive in and do some more synthesis on the sounds that exist in there and the effects and stuff. Some of the videos for this are kind of interesting because they are somewhat imitating the SP. Some of the like effects that they have on there. I mean, there's standard effects like filters, but they have like the stutter stuff that you see. I don't know what is that, like the DJ effects looper style stuff on there. So I'm not super interested in that for the sequencing, although I would try it out just for the price. Motif sounds, like I've been looking around for like a used motif for a while, like the racks. So this, you can't find one of those for like less than the price of this. So this is cool because, well, it's mobile, and then it would be a mobile solution for your mobile SP, you know. So that's cool. I think that is pretty cool. It might be something I try out for a little bit just for the sounds. But again, I do have something that might satiate that. I'll go into that tutorial soon. There is one other device that a little lesser known brand, I think, and I believe it was announced this year at NAMM as well. And I was just kind of looking around at stuff, and this MIDI controller popped up. That kind of gave me the idea here. I want that for this tutorial, for this little concept of using the SP as a controller with chord and chromatic and scale mode. So what I'm talking about here is the Intuitive Instruments Exquise USB MIDI controller, and this is actually an MPE device. It's $299. It's just MIDI controller, but it gives you this layout of pads that puts your you're playing in key, so like in scales and stuff. So it'd be easy to stay in key and also play chords, because I believe it's like laid out in thirds. So there's not much, I don't think there's much thought to the way that you use it as far as like staying in key and playing chords, because you'll just press the pads next to each other. As far as what I've read so far, it might be a little different than what I'm perceiving. Maybe we'll check out a video. But I was looking at this and I was like, yo, this might be cool with some of the other stuff, like maybe with the Korg wave state. Plug this into the Korg wave state, because it does have MIDI, USB MIDI out, but then it also has like physical 1/8 inch MIDI, TRS MIDI, and then you got some other stuff there like gate, pitch mod stuff. So it's interesting. But also that I later found out is it comes with an app, I guess a computer app, but I thought it was like maybe an iOS app that has sounds in it. So it is MPE, so you have like, you could do like the press and like, you know, kind of bend it with the movement of side to side kind of deal. So that looks cool. But yeah, so that is, let me see if I can find a video. I don't know if you guys have seen this thing. Have any of you guys seen this thing? Well, I don't have sound on this anymore. What's the brand of it? I know I looked it up. Okay, Intuitive Instruments X Quiz. Let's see if I pull this video up. If the sound is gonna work.
We're here with B&H reporting live from...
Give me a second, fellas.
Chord. That is extra chord. Chord.
Well. It's not wanting to connect. That might be a problem, because I need this to connect to my SP in order to... We're still live. The cameras are just kind of messing up here for a sec. Here we go.
2024 NAMM show, and today I'm at the MIDI Innovation Award to check out the X-Key by Intuitive Instruments. Now the X-Key is the winner of the MIDI Innovation Awards 2023, and it is a MP MIDI controller that does things a bit differently and aims to put music creation at the fingertips of both beginners and professionals. It features 61 MP pads that allow for expressive playing and really precise control on a per note basis. And also those pads light up to show you only the right notes in a scale you've chosen before, making playing wrong notes a thing of the past. The X-Key comes with a companion app that comes with 200 sounds and presets you can choose from, but you can also use it with any third-party virtual instrument that you already own, expanding the capability of the device greatly. The companion app makes it really easy to use the X-Key and get you started creating music in minutes. Just start a session, choose some sounds, choose a scale, and you are ready to go. The X-Key app also features an onboard multi-track sequencer and looper, so you can easily create loops And you can use the arrangement page to mute and unmute instruments in your loop to create a live arrangement of your song.
That's cool too.
The X key also features a slider that adds an arpeggiating effect to your performance, and the functionality will be expanded later by the team of Intuitive Instruments. Last but not least, you can control all your favorite virtual instruments through the app using the MIDI over USB protocol and the USB-C port in the back of the unit. But the X key also features a 3.5mm MIDI in and out port in the back, as well as a gate, pitch, and mod output to control external modular gear. So this pretty much covers it for a quick overview of the X key by Intuitive Instruments. I think it's a really cool MP MIDI controller, and I think you should definitely come and check it out if you're at the NAMM show. I'm gonna be here scanning the floor for the latest and greatest gear here at the 2024 NAMM show, so don't forget to tune in for our next videos. This was Gabe with B&H, and I'll see you next time.
All right, well, there you go. So yeah, that's pretty much all the gear I wanted to show you guys. That's what I've been interested in looking at lately. See what y'all got to say. Linda Sun, what's up? From Philly with love. Daughter in the back trying to, what is that? Trying to video stream bomb? All right, anyways. From Philly with love, y'all. Please don't tell the gas from the MPC Q37 hasn't worn off already. Yeah, no, I'm gonna bring it back out. So, I mean, I already understand how my mind kind of goes. Gas is cyclical, so that's what this whole gas station, I think I'm going to revive for a little bit to help myself out and, you know, just help you guys out maybe if you need it. 1,300 sounds on board is what I heard. Are we talking about, yes, you're talking about the Astrolab plus access to more. Okay, girls, go ahead. You're on live. You're on live right now on YouTube. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Watching from the 4 train was good. Gonna amen chop on the MK2 in a few. Okay. Dang. Okay, Ellie, go on. You are distracting me a bit. Linda Sun, I sent you a link to the SP-404 Mark II skins in one of your videos. Is that, you directed that to me? What skins are you talking about, man? And a problem with sending links on videos or on YouTube is that they get buried and I won't see them unless I go on the back end and like look for comments that have been held for review. So yeah, if you're sending links, try sending them like on Facebook or IG or like in an email or something. But I'm not sure what skins you're talking about. I did see Crema Cafe Design just put out the skins that they're non-adhesive skins for the 404. 37 is cool, but it's more of a sampler with keys. Sex Track is no go for you. Wave Station MK2 is available at $6.99. So yeah, same price as the desktop version. OSR The Journey ended up grabbing the Seek Track and have some concerns about the build quality. That's what I'm hearing in features. The sounds are amazing though. That's good to hear because I just assume they are motif sounds, which I really love. I think Yamaha, out of all the gear that I've used, Yamaha's got the best sounding sounds presets to me. As far as like acoustic stuff. The MIDI implementation isn't the greatest either. BJM says, I don't see myself using a device that only has one octave to play. See, that's the thing, though. You can go, unlike the SP, I mean, the SP, you can't plug in a USB bus-powered keyboard, but with the Seek Track, you can. So then, I mean, you can plug in any size MIDI controller, and you're good. Yeah. Playing without the controller is a nightmare. But, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But having 7, I think they thought of it because you can play, I believe you can do chords with that, and then there's 7, pretty much 7 notes to a scale, right? Usually. So, not impossible. You just got to think about it a little differently. And that's what I've been doing lately. I actually like the idea of playing melodies and chords with the pads. Chris Head, what's good? I just don't like the input interface. I may sell it as I have the lemon drop and fireball for sounds. Interesting you bring up those because I was looking at I think the tangerine one, which is a sampler. I think it has its own kind of like the NPC, its own auto sampler, so you could put in any sounds you want. So that one would interest me more than the others because again, like I like the acoustic stuff and I could put my own acoustic samples in there and then play it with, hook it up to any of my other samplers for sequencing. Orange one has more readable text. Yeah, it was kind of like kind of a contemplation which one I would grab. I like the black color better, but the orange one might be easier to see. New Life Hebrew is good. MC101 is a sound module. I did have that for a little bit with the SP. Ended up sending that one back. I probably look at it a little bit different. Hold on, guys. There. So.
I'll just find us some fresh pajamas.
Okay, thank you. Bad Lucks, what's happening? Sec track, it is. It's kind of unique in a way. Some people say they don't like the side buttons. I think that's kind of interesting. Could be kind of cool. Bad Lucks, been eyeballing it, but it's just gas. Yeah, the main thing for me is the onboard sounds, but it might not have a decent interface without a phone to like, kind of navigate through them. Sold the KO2. Is that the newest one that came out from Teenage Engineering? Rolling compacts. I was considering like the what is it, the J6, the Korg one. Yeah, Roland Integra 7. I've wanted one of those for the longest time, so that might be the other option. That thing is pretty pricey though. But yeah, and that I believe also, that's where I think I first heard of the physical modeling stuff. Best sounds. You've used one personally? I mean, it does sound pretty great from the demos that I've seen, but I've never had one in my possession or got to try one like at a store or anything. Bad Lucks, I think I'm going to wait a year or so to see what comes out later, as we've spent plenty on gear and end up reselling, losing out. MPC, Mark II, iPad, laptop, work for me. AC power only. See, after I bought the SP-4, the gas ended. The device is amazing. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Let's go put your pajamas on.
Sorry, you still got the sample track?
Dude, all fresh and clean, straight up.
My friend has one of these controllers. There's no iOS app coming. They said it was, but they canceled it. They're not going to do the app? Well, that's weird. I mean, I believe it's so it's not iOS, but they have a computer app. Is that what you're saying? Because on the advert on Zounds, it has a picture of a computer app. Just grab the Korg Wave State MK2. I mean, I would get the desktop version. I wouldn't get the keyboard just because of space and stuff. And yeah, I'd much rather just connect it to like the Key 37. Search for Ian J. Cole. He has one and did a review. Okay. What are you talking about? The FA06. That was always one that I wanted to try out, but never got around to it. Or even the Roland Phantom 06 is kind of interesting to me as well, because you get a cute. One thing I don't like about like the Integra 7 is I really appreciate the preset button categories. All right, so let's see how much percentage we got. I'm gonna flip this camera and talk a little bit about my little SP tutorial, an idea for using chromatic mode for controlling external instruments. So maybe if I got one of these pieces that I'm talking about today, I might use chromatic mode, because I actually really like the SP's chromatic mode. Pretty limited, but I like how it works. So Okay, we got the SP here. Let's make sure it's looking good. All right, so what I am talking about today is using the SP with something I've talked about before, FL Studio Mobile. So you can quench your gas a little bit for about 14 bucks, $15 or so. It has some pretty nice sounds in it. So the way I use it is just that, you know, it's got a sequencer and all that, but just as a sound module for portable samplers and sequencers. But hold on, I want to reset something so I can show you guys the process correctly. Okay. All right. So the SP-404 Mark II, it works as a MIDI controller. See that? Even the pads that I have drums on are triggering. But it's pretty limited, as you can see. Delete these. So as you can see, when I go from bank to bank, it's still triggering the same 16 notes. So I thought, hey, I've never tried it before, but would chromatic mode work in there, inside, or controlling, you know, external apps, external sound sources? So went ahead and try that, and immediately it changes the octave, and then I do have control. I can access those 2 octaves that I can in chromatic mode. But then I wanted to see, well, can I change the scale? So it looks like I can change the scale, but when I change it, I don't see any changes affected on the pad. So if I had a sample on here, it would show me which pads are in the scale, right? And it would mute out. I see it's muting out the pads, but it's not displaying it so I can easily know which notes are in that scale. But the workaround is simple. All you got to do is put a sample on the pad. So what I would do, what I'm going to do right now is just record an empty sample. I'm just going to turn the external source off and record nothing. First of all, I got to make sure my counting is just off, and then we'll go. Just turn my mics down. Okay, so now I've got technically I've got here just an empty sample. Okay, so now I got FL Studio up. So now if I turn chromatic mode on, it behaves like it would if I had a sample on it, but now I'm controlling the external sounds.
You have to touch the poop with water and drain it.
So that's pretty useful. And still, it does kind of suck. It's limited. We still have the 2 octaves, but this would be a reason for Roland to give us more octaves, just to use it as a controller. But even still, there's still are some limitations. Like I can't sequence this in here, and I'll show you why.
Don't let know.
I've tried to sequence that, but all it's doing is just playing back the one original note. I believe, but it's just playing that one note. So this doesn't work like this, right? So that sucks. So I'll delete that. But what we could do is like do a resample thing. Or now with the looper mode, we could turn the looper on and sample something out here. And we could do the looper and change between different sounds if we wanted to. What I'm gonna do is just recording some chords like I was trying to just now. And the way this needs to work, though, take it free and go ahead and pick your measures. I'll just do 2 measures, make it quick. All right. And before I hit record, I'm gonna make sure I click that one pad with the empty sample. Then I'll hit record. Then what I'm gonna do is turn on chromatic. And then I'll play. It'll stop recording after those 2 bars, and then I'll have my sample. Okay, it's a little off, but so then if I wanted to export that, just pick a pad, stop this, delete it, exit by pressing mark again, and then I have a sample there. And I've successfully used chromatic mode and scales to put together some chords. So we loop that. All right, well, there you go. So that wasn't a great presentation, but it's just an example of what you can do controlling external instruments with the scale mode, and you can do it standalone. It's just a bit of a hack. I don't think it wasn't built with the intention. I think it could be a lot better. Maybe there's something I'm missing because I really don't use MIDI with the SP much at all. But yeah, the last thing that we looked at, the Exquiz controller, was what kind of sparked this idea in me, because I was like, it'd be cool to have something that I can play some chords with. Because when I'm working with the SP, I don't necessarily even want to use a keyboard because I like scale mode. So I was like, well, if I could do this with scale mode, I wouldn't even need that controller necessarily. I don't really care too much about the MPE. It's kind of cool, but it's just a bonus. So there it is. That's an idea. Run with it. Maybe I could develop it a little bit more, see if there's some other things I could do with it. Maybe there's a way of sequencing it. I just don't know at this point, like I said, because it's new to me. And that's about it. That's what I wanted to show y'all. Maybe it's helpful to you. Maybe you'll use it. Maybe you can expand on it. Let me know. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's go in the chat, see what y'all are thinking, and then wrap this up. I appreciate y'all kicking it. Ben be jamming. I'm assuming weighs 9 pounds, so 4 GB sample space 2. You're still talking about the Korg wave state on that. Crest said, I forget what you might be referring to as far as buggy. Let's see. Probably the controller. But yeah, it's interesting. And it's got a nice footprint for the desk. I always consider that. That's why, the only reason, like Ben said earlier, it'd be a no-brainer if they made the Astrolab like a 37 key. Resale on MIDI controllers are awful, so you buy that knowing it's not worth anything later. Still haven't updated the 404 Mark II. Heard there was bugs waiting for bugs. Yeah, I've experienced the bug that they were talking about. I've only heard about one, which is the resample bug. It just shuts down. I think it even happened to me earlier today, but I did see like a fix floating around there where it's something about doing a factory reset. I haven't tried it, so I don't know what that entails. If you have to factory reset and then update again to the latest, or what. I'd rather use an iPad with apps. It will power the SP and has plenty of sounds. That's what's up. It's a good thought. I haven't tried to power my SP with my iPad. But do you think the Seek Track might power the SP? That's a thought that I had. Maybe it's possible to, you know, because that has a USB. If you had a USB to USB cable or USB-C to USB-C cable, it might. Ooh, Swam Instruments. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about that. But yeah, that's when I did start getting really interested when I heard about those. I don't know. I'm just a geek about that. Like that technology is crazy to me. Just being able to synthesize acoustic instruments. Piano Tech is on iOS now. I haven't heard of that one. The two that I'm looking at on iOS that I might want to get eventually is just the Korg module and the IK Multimedia one. I forget what it's called. Piano Tech is physical modeling. Thinking of selling the sample track too. Have too much stuff. Yeah, man, I feel like that too sometimes, where I just want to keep it simple. That's what I'm kind of on right now lately, is just the SP. Oh, that's cool. You get iOS and a computer version of Piano Tech for one. Some of the best pianos. I feel like pianos, I mean, if you're a piano player, you probably know. But I feel like that's like one of the least instruments to mess up. Like when you get into like stuff like strings and guitars and, you know what I mean, like brass, those are a little harder to emulate. Like for example, like even I had like that Kai MPK Mini Play, and it has terrible sounds on it. But even the pianos at the front, like the electric pianos, they're not bad. There's not like a lot of articulation that you need to make it not sound cheesy. I feel like, I mean, it's just my feeling, but there are definitely superior piano samples, but even cheaper ones don't sound as bad as some of the other types of instruments. Cresthead, yeah, my did exactly, I think. With the silent sample, right? 404 update has some new MIDI things you can do. 3.0 had some new MIDI things too. I was actually going to go over that, but I guess it didn't really matter in this process. Skip back or looper for sure. Grab a Bluetooth keyboard and play it through the phone. You talking about playing FL? Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I know you can do that kind of thing, but like, I just have kind of like really started liking the chord scale mode, or the scale mode in chromatic mode on the SP. It's simple, it's kind of limited, but it's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy we only got 2. At least 4 would be nice. And like, if they can make it possible to sequence that and expand, then I think I would be happy with just playing my chords in my scale or my melodies from this thing. Yeah, I haven't tried much on iOS yet. I just got some demos and stuff. I just haven't invested any money in that. So 4.04 can do MIDI sequence for externals with, what does that say? With no sample, no, not tried it, but read it. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to open up the manual, see what kind of stuff they have for that. So cool. Yeah, coming up on an hour. That's all I wanted to look at. I think I might kind of like pursue this little workaround thing a little bit more and make a video. I was gonna chop it out of this, maybe I'll do that, but we'll see. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. If you got any other ideas, drop it in the chat window or in the comment section after. I'm gonna keep it at that. Get up, go clean this house and all that. Deal with the kids. Right on, Cresthead. Yeah, God bless everyone. Take care. Keep on running with your dreams. I'll see y'all next time.